Quintin rolling through the SWAT. Repping for the city, hear him in the parking lot. Houston written across the jersey, ain't gon' never stop. Just fans got me tuning in, waiting for the drop. Astros, Texas, Rockets, Dynamo, they coming with it. When they pull up, got the city sitting on a fitted. Straight up A-Leaf, hold it down, ain't gon' never quit it. Just fans got me tuning in, let my dogs get it. Southwest A-Leaf, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans.
What's going on, everybody? It's Carlos, your host of the Just Fans podcast. We got the one and only Tyler Milner in the house. How's it going, Tyler?
What's up, dudes? I am doing great, man. Glad to be here with you. I know we were talking before we got started here, but it's exciting times in Houston, dude.
Yes, sir. Exciting times indeed. And of course, I got the one and only Rios in the house. How's it going, Rios?
What's going on, guys? Let us start by saying the PFF scores are about as useful as the S2 scores. My God.
Yeah.
According to them, CJ was the sixth best quarterback this weekend. Sixth.
Yep.
Sixth best quarterback. Y'all.
Yeah.
Not by the eye test.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, a lot of these experts that come out and this is on my experience in the education aspect of it. These type of tests that they do, like, literally make absolutely no sense to the actual meaning behind what an actual person thinks or any rating at all. Like, I don't understand the correlation between it, guys. That's just me.
Yeah, their whole algorithm is basically it's based off hypotheticals and what ifs. It's like, the live action version of what if. Like, it doesn't reward you for actual results. It's all about hypotheticals, turnover worthy plays. Like, what's a turnover worthy play?
Nerd.
Like, it's either
Nerd.
It's either a turnover or it's not. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, that's how it is. All right. So, as you said at the top of the show, like, this is an exciting time to be a Texan, guys. This kind of takes me back to that 2011 Ravens Texans matchup that we were just all excited to see. Only difference is this time we actually got our starting quarterback as opposed to back then we had TJ Yates. And
we have hope of a victory. Back then we hope for the best.
We hope for the best. But this weekend, man, like, we have these defenses are pretty similar to each other in some ways, like CJ Stroud is going to CJ Stroud. He's going to ball out. He's going to give us all he's got. That's how it is. Our defense is going to ball out. They've been on a roll lately. I know there's times when we look at them and we're like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? But then they just like, they make up for it. They make up.
My heart rate's going up. My heart rate's going up. Watch what takes the load. Stop it.
Exactly. So this weekend, please make sure to take your high blood pressure medication. But all right, so let's start off really quick. This is going to be a much different football team than it was when the Ravens faced the Texans week 1. A much different football team. CJ Stroud is a lot more experienced than he was at the beginning. Our defense seems to have to be clicking in the right direction as of late. We have healthy people, except we're missing Tank and we're missing Noah Brown. But other than that, it looks like we have everybody, and we have a pretty healthy O-line with the exception of Patterson on as a center, and of course with Kenyon Green, right? But other than that, we're relatively healthy, going into this game, which is a really good positive sign. I want to talk about CJ Stroud's growth and development since week 1. I've seen his awareness has been a lot better. His decision making has been a lot better. Yes, there's times when we wish he'd kind of throw the ball and not just try to go for the home run at times. That's been my only critique. Other than that, I mean, there's really nothing negative to say about CJ Stroud. So I'm willing to bet that the score 9-25, how it was week 1, is not going to be anywhere relatively close this time around. We're walking in here with confidence, saying, yeah, we can take on these guys. CJ Stroud showed what he had against the number 1 top rated defense in the Cleveland Browns, and he sliced them. He sliced them and diced them. He figured out a way to get to score on that defense that supposedly they had no chance. They told CJ Stroud to his face, "You have no chance." He
and
said,
laughed.
He's like, and laughed.
All right.
He said, "All right, bet. All right, bet."
Yeah.
At that moment, that's when CJ knew.
That's when the game was over. That's when the game was over at that point.
Before it begun. Tyler, give us your take, Tyler, on what you expect to see from CJ this weekend.
Man, I expect kind of like what you were just saying, Carlos. I expect more of the same, man. At this point, it's an expectation. That doesn't mean that if CJ Stroud comes out and has a bad game, knock on wood, that doesn't mean I'm going to like destroy him and be out on CJ Stroud. But to this point, whether you're starting back at Ohio State against Georgia or what we've seen as CJ Stroud in a Texans uniform, in the biggest moments and the biggest games, the dude just shows up. He doesn't look like he breaks a sweat whenever he shows up. And he's just calm, cool, and collected. And I think we've heard DeMeco talk about it recently, but that confidence that you talked about a second ago, that bleeds into the locker room, man. Like everybody around this guy, this rookie, and not just a rookie, the kid, CJ Stroud is very, very young. The confidence he is exuberating out there is just going. It's having an effect on not only the players around him, his teammates, but it's having an effect on the entire coaching staff, on Bobby Slowik, on DeMeco. So, in short, my expectations Saturday for CJ Stroud is go out, and they're a pretty damn good defense, but you just took out the number one defense. Go out, do it again. Let's see what you got.
Right on. Rios, what you got going on? Expectations for CJ?
I think right now his confidence probably sky high, and it should be. He's essentially played 2 playoff games. That Colts game was basically a playoff game, win and win.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week as well. And again, hearing all week, they have no chance. We're 10-point underdogs. The last time the Ravens were 10-point favorites was against the Titans back in 2019, and they lost. Yeah. So that's something to take into account also. And these guys they haven't played in 3 weeks. Because they rested the last couple of weeks, and then they had the bye week. So they haven't played football in 3 weeks. So there's going to be a little bit of a rust. And not just that, it's just also they're going to be missing Marlon Humphrey, their top corner. So that definitely helps out CJ because that basically gives more opportunities for Nico. Mm-hmm. We saw what he did. We saw what he did against the corner for the Browns. Just took that man's lunch.
Yeah, he did. Exactly, 100%. I'm expecting, I want to go back to what Tyler said. He's like, yeah, of course, if knock on wood, if it's not CJ's best game, you can't just knock him out. He's already exceeded expectations beyond anyone's belief here in this organization. I mean, as a fan base, like, when's the last time you saw NRG Stadium that packed? It's been a minute.
According to Browns fans, it was empty. We were pumping noise.
Yeah, we were pumping noise. That was, I gotta say, that's just a shitty take. Like, what a shit take. Like, are you that petty? Are you that sad that you really had to make that wild ass accusation that they were pumping noise? Like, did you not see entire stadium filled?
Like, we didn't see on TV or people there in person. Everyone has a camera phone. It doesn't look that empty.
I love that everybody came in like, no. I don't see any empty seats here. Everybody was like around. That's just, I don't understand. I don't understand like why you would even go there. Like, I get the engagement, the clicks, and all that stuff. I get it, but to actually like start doing those wild accusations, that's just like the John Boy stuff when he did with the Astros and the buzzers. That's all it is, man. It's just
jackassery, man. Just strictly jackassery.
Yeah, nothing better.
Take the loss like a man and move on. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so keeping going. All right. To me, one of the things that I saw from week one is I feel like the Texans need to contain Lamar Jackson. If you can contain Lamar Jackson from using his legs wrong, because I hate to say it this way because he's been compared to that like all his career. It's like having an extra running back, right? But that can throw the ball around. So if you can contain Lamar Jackson, contain his legs, which is hard to do. And, in this case, I think this type of defensive scheme that DeMeco has, where it's not like all out blitzing or whatever, I think it's going to work great against Lamar Jackson. I mean, the last time, he got sacked 4 times. He got sacked 4 times on the last time we faced them, and that was week 1 when, again, a completely different team. So I think they have a pretty decent game plan against him in there. And, I mean, apply pressure for him, of course, but contain Lamar Jackson. To me, that's the important thing.
I will counter that. So I'll say that the last time that the Ravens lost was against Cleveland, and they beat them because they were blitzing at about 33% of Baltimore's dropbacks. So the numbers back it up. You put pressure on Lamar, he does turn into a different type of quarterback. No, it didn't work with the Dolphins just because they're so banged up because they blitzed a lot, but it didn't work. Obviously, they got torched. But I think we could follow the game plan that Cleveland had because we have most of our guys relatively healthy on the defensive side of the ball. And we could try to utilize their game plan on defense a little bit. That helps slow them down some.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying earlier, Carlos, about and we've heard it all from both the Ravens and their coaching staff and the Texans and their players and their coaching staff a lot this week already, talking about just the growth of both teams since week 1 to now and how much different they are, like you led the show with tonight. And that's bigger than I think we maybe even realize when it comes to DeMeco's defense, because the defense for Houston has been decent at worst all year. Like from week 1 on, it's never been bad. It's never been super duper great, top of the league or anything. But in that week 1 matchup, 3 of those 4 sacks, I believe you said they had 4 sacks. I believe 3 of them were Christian Harris, Will Anderson Jr. and John Grenard.
Yeah.
So Grenard, first of all, just had a career year. And I do have faith that he can get to Lamar Jackson. If he could do it week 1, he can do it again. Same with Will Anderson Jr. You talk about that was a rookie, man. He's still a rookie, but that was a rookie's first game in the NFL, and Will Anderson Jr., and he got that first career sack. And he's only gotten better, and I have no doubt that DeMeco is going to be scheming things up for those 2 guys specifically, Grenard and Will Anderson Jr. But when we're talking about containing Lamar Jackson, I think the key element for that in this weekend's game is going to fall on a position group for DeMeco's defense that has been balling out, and that's the linebackers. You're getting Blake Cashman back this week. Christian Harris, we were just talking about, that dude has been playing with his hair on fire. And
Harris County.
Yeah.
Harris County on lock.
Harris County.
Lopez loves that nickname. That's hilarious. But no, man, I think a lot of that, as far as containment of Lamar Jackson, it is going to fall on the shoulders of those linebackers. And if that's the case, then I'm all about it, because the linebacking core for the Houston Texans the last 2-3 weeks have been playing out of their skulls. Just keep doing what you're doing, young fellas. Christian Harris I've been so impressed with that dude here as of late. So hopefully he just continues doing what he's doing and let DeMeco whisper in his ear exactly what to do, like that pick he had last week.
Bro, what
we saw
a video!
that clip, man.
What a video clip! DeMeco just telling
a cheat code right there.
A cheat code. It's just a human cheat code. That is just phenomenal. Like, it just kind of goes to show you. It gives you a sneak peek at what like the DeMeco Ryans' like mindset is during the game. It seemed like very calm and collected in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, you hear some coaches just kind of like, yelling or whatever and all pumped up. But DeMeco's like, hey, man, just actually, you know what? I'm going to play, and this is a Patrick Storm's version of it real quick.
Yeah.
For anybody that hasn't seen it, this would be just an amazing clip. I hope I don't get flagged on YouTube, but whatever. Let's see. Gets taken off. Hold on. Ready? All right. Let me see. All right. Here we go. Y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You just hang right there and just play the quarterback. Play the quarterback. As soon as he snapped, step in front of it, go pick. Yes, sir. I'm telling you.
4th and 2 from the Browns 33. It's picked off.
It is.
Oh, to the left, 25.
Chef kiss right there, man.
Amazing.
That is
Look at DeMeco. Look at my coach.
He could lace him up right now.
He looks like it, bro.
He just stays there. Like, it was so awesome. He just stood there and watched Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Read his eyes just like Coach told him, baby.
It's always exciting out here. I don't want to hurt
Look
you.
at that.
Please don't. I'm sorry. You just
That's awesome.
How can you not get excited about DeMeco Ryans, dude? Like, I don't understand.
He's everything, man. He's everything we could have hoped for, and then maybe even more. It's so damn beautiful to see DeMeco Ryans back in Houston, dude. It makes I'm about to be moved to tears, man. I'm just kidding. I'm not, but it's freaking awesome.
Take a DeMeco moment. You know when he has in the background for a little bit.
That was powerful stuff.
That was powerful stuff. Man.
You could see how much it meant to him. I think it took all hit him at once. Like, damn.
So we had an episode this week that talked on Monday, right, Rios? It was a live one that we did, and it was like, Texans AFC Divisional round. How did we get here? And and we talked about things that we talked with you before, Tyler, about the Jack situation and so forth, and all that, and then just like the biggest step was getting DeMeco Ryans, which we didn't expect, like we've talked about before, and then suddenly, hey, DeMeco's back, and we're like, what? DeMeco is actually coaching, I mean, I had Seth Payne on, and we talked about how DeMeco, like searching for a head coach, was like searching somebody on Tinder. It had to be a great match, He made that whole analogy. It was so hilarious, and he was great at it. And so, it has to be like the perfect batch or whatever. And we went on our tangents here and there, but it was. We weren't sure if it was DeMeco. He was just thrown around in the name, and ever since he's came in and took over, man, it's been a revitalization of the city, of the fandom here in Houston. Like, you started seeing more seats. Yes, at the beginning, CJ and the crew were like, we would like to see more people in the seats, but now that's not a problem anymore. That's not a problem anymore. And even a few of them came out and said this past weekend, it was like, this is the loudest we've ever seen the stadium. But to us that have seen the team, we're like, this is what we remember. This is what it was like about 11 years ago. This is what it was like.
Bulls on parade days. Like, it was just ears are ringing, man.
Exactly. We had a coach. I had to call Coach Quintin Demps on. If I don't call him coach, he's gonna get mad at me. He talked about laps. He makes me do laps right here on the he talked about push-ups. Come on, boy. No.
You call that a push-up?
Call that a push-up? No. He said that he kind of gave us a little insight of how it was like playing alongside DeMeco Ryans, and he just talked about his leadership. Like, even as a team player, he would talk to other members of the team that for sure weren't going to make it, and he was coaching them up, while other players were like, DeMeco, why are you talking to him? He's not going to make the team. And it just kind of speaks volumes of the kind of person DeMeco Ryans is, and to be at the level he is now, it obviously that elevates him to that level. Like, just having DeMeco be that kind of person and just inject that energy to the players. And not only that, then you got CJ Stroud doing it. This is a recipe for a successful team. That's a team that's going to be successful for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's freaking beautiful, dude. And speaking about DeMeco and just his character and who he is and everything that he does and what he's about and how contagious his energy is, like, we're all witnesses now. Like, we're 17 regular season games in. We are a playoff game in, basically 2 playoff games, like you were saying, Rios. Like, the evidence is all there, and we're getting to witness it if we didn't know before. Right. But I think it's really, like, you mentioned Seth Payne. I was talking to him. He was a teammate, like you said, of DeMeco's. Yeah. And I remember him saying, like, anytime you're looking for a head coach or whatever it is, a quarterback, whatever in the NFL, and you do what we all do and you cover the team and you talk about it into a microphone, like, you're always your top candidate, whoever it is. Like, if you like them, you're going to sell them best you can and hopefully in an honest way. Hey, these things are great about this guy. I like this guy. He's going to be awesome. It's going to be great for the team, great for the city, what have you. But what Seth told me one time about DeMeco is, like, he was getting frustrated whenever the Texans first made the hire of DeMeco Ryans as head coach, because he was trying to paint this picture over our airwaves about DeMeco Ryans, who he knows very well, about just how great he is and how big of a deal this could be, having DeMeco Ryans and his contagious optimism and high energy and relentlessness. And he said he was getting frustrated because he didn't feel like he could justify. He couldn't paint the necessary picture that he wanted to, because you're always going to get that kind of stuff whenever a new guy gets hired and people are excited about him, whether it's DeMeco Ryans or Sean Payton, whoever. You're going to try to do that if you are excited and you like the hire. But he was like, man, he's different. Like he is a legit, just different human being. He's a different man. Like these things that we're saying and highlighting, he was like, I'm not overinflating. Like this is the most ideal hire Houston could have asked for. And I can't say that because it's just, so common in media to get pumped up about a hire like that. But he was like, dude, like this guy is different. Like everything that we're saying is like on steroids. DeMeco is going to bring some change and it's going to be awesome. And I just always remember that because I remember because I think it's funny when Seth gets frustrated and he's trying to explain something.
Yes, it's hilarious. What was funny about Seth is that when he came on, and every time I hear him on the radio, like on the way to work in the mornings, like I love when I always try to do like his impression of him when he's like, and then you have this guy who does this thing, and then you tell him. It almost reminds me of Joe Swanson from Family Guy. Like, that's kind of what
Come on, you guys!
That is a great comp. I've never heard that. That's really good. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yeah, it's just he reminds me a lot of. Every time I think, I was like, I was a big Family Guy fan from like the early years, and every time I hear Seth Payne explaining something, he always kind of like. It's almost like and I'm not. Don't tell him that I'm not even like trying to insult him or anything. I love Seth Payne. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Okay. So every time I see him talk, like, and DeMeco was such a great hire that he was just, I expected it from the get-go. DeMeco Ryans is here to stay, guys. You know what I mean? So,
every time I see Family Guy, I want to think of Seth Payne. Thanks.
I love Seth. Please come back to our show, Seth. Anyway,
he'll get all loud like that, screaming, then he'll wrap it up out of nowhere with like some crazy one-liner, like, and just look out next time, you whore. And you're like what's going on?
What are we talking about, Seth?
Yeah, I love Seth, man. Great dude.
That is Seth Watson.
It's still Swanson. Give it to me! Yeah, anyway. So,
that's great.
Seth's awesome. Anyway, so just back to that. Sorry, I lost track of it, but
that was a great analogy, dude. Like I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, there you go. Joe Swanson.
I think on that bunny trail, so apologies. All that to say, DeMeco Ryans is awesome and we love him.
DeMeco Ryans, exactly. So another thing that I want to talk about is what I've enjoyed is, how we talked about, the team that we had like 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. I've seen like Andre Johnson come back and stick around with his team. You have obviously DeMeco Ryans. Like you started seeing a lot of these like old faces coming back to the team, and I think that just speaks volume of like how much the leadership, the actual culture is different now than what it was a few years ago. Like you started seeing old faces pop up. Yeah, the dark ages. How you started seeing a lot of these guys come back and speak positively about the organization. I think that also helps revitalize the fandom that we had. Let's be honest, that was lost during those few years. I think that also helps play a key role into bringing the fans back. I mean, I think Hannah and Cal have done such a great job of being able to, these things happen. We're moving on from them now, and they've done such a great job at actually, bringing the fans back, making them feel like they're like a big part of the team, which they are. I mean, we saw it happen against Cleveland. We're pumping noise or whatever, right? But
right.
The fans play a big pivotal role in the games, and having them there in that Cleveland game definitely helps. It doesn't come together without Hannah, Cal, DeMeco, and a lot of those faces and that energy that transcends. And obviously it helps that we got great CJ Stroud.
we got 7.
Yeah, dude.
7 him.
Yeah, you mentioned those old faces, man. I mean, unfortunately, because like y'all were referring to it, the dark days, the dark ages, which weren't that long ago. Yeah. We saw what? Yeah, we saw 2 new head coaches before DeMeco and Lovie Smith and football playing Jesse. Oh God.
David Culley.
David Culley, God bless his heart. But we saw those two hires, and I mean, I remember both introductory press conferences, and no one thought those were the long-term solutions. But when you look at those introductory press conferences for Lovie Smith and David Culley, yeah, they were nice, whatever. Media's there, some staff, some players, whatever. DeMeco Ryans gets his introductory press conference as the head coach of the Houston Texans, and there was a media room full of those old faces, those old teammates of DeMeco, and that was the first, maybe not the first moment, but one of the first moments where it's like, okay, like this is where the change happens. This is where we come back, hopefully. But yeah, I just remember looking around that room and like, oh, there's Andre, and there's Trapp, and there's Wade Smith, and of course Seth Payne and others, and I was just like, all right, let's go.
Antonio Smith, I think I saw him at one point there too.
Yeah.
With his ninja assassin. Yeah, like all these old faces that you'd forget. And then it was funny, is Kareem Jackson even coming back to the Texans also, being part of that.
Even Arian Foster, he put on Twitter, he wants to get more involved in the organization too. Like, man.
Like that just speaks volumes of where you were before to now, how much you've grown.
Getting the band back together. That's what it feels like.
As long as it's not the Rock Boys, I'm done with that. I'm done with the Rock Boys. But
please, never again.
No, not doing that.
No, but talk about 180 as far as organizations go. Like, think about a year ago, we were the laughing stock of the league, complete inept ownership. This team is going nowhere, and look at us now. Other fan bases are like, man, this is the model of success. Like,
bro, the Texans are one win away from a damn trip to the AFC title game. That's nuts.
That's nuts. The turnaround has been incredible. Now what's so crazy is that in that turnaround, dude, Bobby Slowik. I want to talk about Bobby. Dude,
he was in his bag. He was in his bag. Saturday.
Yeah. How many job offers is this man going to get thrown? Like it's 10. He's got 10 already.
I hate to be selfish, and I'm sorry, Bobby, but I hope zero.
Yeah, I know. For our sake, we got something clicking.
Right. Well, he's taking no interviews so far. He's focused. Like, hey, I'm worried about my team right now. Mm-hmm. But I think I can see him do what DeMeco did, because when Robert Saleh left, DeMeco had a chance to get a head coaching job, but he decided, hey, I'm not ready yet. I need another year at least.
That's what I've been saying.
I can see Bobby doing the exact same thing. You know what? I need another year. Get it together. I'll do these interviews to, work on, how to present myself to these teams, how to sell myself. But I still need another year. And there's something special in Houston. I don't think he wants to leave just yet.
I think so too. I hope he feels that. Like, I really do hope he feels that, just because we got something clicking right now. Yes, we're a little critical sometimes of Bobby, but it comes with the territory of, being brand new. And I just think, like you said, Rios, it's like, if you stay like a year or whatever, or just to get the juices flowing or the more experience or whatnot, I think you make a better candidate later on to be a head coach somewhere else. But because we all figured he's gonna get a call for head coaching one day. I just didn't think it was gonna get so soon.
Yeah, right. And the beautiful thing is, like, it's so when the day comes, we lose Bobby Slowik as offensive coordinator, which I'm hoping we, like y'all are saying too, we get at least one more year. But the beautiful thing is that's a great thing. Like, if people want your offensive coordinator, that means you're doing something effing right. That means your offense is probably being pretty damn successful. So I do hope Bobby sticks around for a little bit. I think you were saying, Rios, that he might take a page out of DeMeco's book and kind of just, maybe go on the interviews, get that experience, but hang around another year, because don't forget too, man. I mean, I got to think Bobby's going to want to come into next year and see not only what they can continue to build with what he has, but we don't know what other weapons are going to be on this team next year. Like, Nick Caserio has been working his ass off. There's cap room for days for the Houston Texans. There's going to be free agents that want to come to Houston and play for DeMeco and play for Stroud. Like, my pitch to Bobby would be like, hey man, just sit back one more year. Let me bring you in some more fun toys to play with in this offense. And let's see what we can do next year.
Exactly. You got more offensive players coming in. You got good names coming in. Mike Evans.
Bring him home. Bring him home.
I would go 6. I told y'all this last time, but that would turn me on so quick. Oh my Lord.
All right. I'm glad that we know that.
Viewers that don't know,
Yeah.
I don't just think Mike Evans is cute or something. All right, I'm a Texas A&M Aggie. I was going to school there when he played there, so I have a football man crush on the guy. Okay,
that's exactly what we meant. That's exactly what we were talking about. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
But can you imagine that?
Because
because think about it. You have Mike Evans. You got 3 guys who can play on the outside and play in the slot.
Yeah.
Imagine
Tank Nico, Mike Evans, bro. Like, who's stopping that?
absolutely no one. Absolutely no one.
Like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like, you have some weapons, like you said. I think, like you said, Tyler, put that pitch on Bobby. Be like, hey, man, look, more toys coming up next year. You see what we can do. You can probably even open up that playbook even more, and we see what we can do. Let's see where this takes us. I would just do that. I mean, if I'm Bobby, I'm not Bobby, but if I would, dude, that would be amazing. Right? See how far you can go. Just see how far you can go.
Let's be honest, Bobby. Nobody wants to be the head coach of a team called the Commanders. Like, come on, man. Like,
or Carolina, that inept. Come on, you talk about an inept owner. That's an inept owner. I've never seen Cal McNair throw his drink at anybody. Okay,
right?
I couldn't imagine.
Our owner, he's grilling burgers for the fans. Their owner's throwing drinks at a Jaguars fan.
See the difference? See, Bobby? Cal McNair's burgers are getting your drink thrown by the Panthers owner.
Doesn't seem like a tough choice. I don't know.
Exactly.
You know what, though, too? And this is putting the cart way before the horse, way before like anything could happen. There's so many different alternate realities this thing could go. But if and when Bobby Slowik does go, I'd be interested at where we stand right now. I'd be interested to see what quarterback coach Stroud Johnson has, because people are ranting and raving about him over in NRG Stadium in his first year as a quarterback coach. And I'd be very interested to see how he continues to develop as a coach, hopefully with the Houston Texans,
Exactly. Oh, that would be amazing. Exactly. Dude.
And another pitch to Bobby would be, you see what CJ did year 1. Imagine what he could do in year 2 with a whole offseason to work on what he feels like he needs to improve on. Like, that's a scary thought.
Mm-hmm.
The kid can still get better.
He's
22. He hasn't hit his athletic prime yet. He hasn't hit his prime yet. And look how he's playing. He's playing like a top 5 quarterback at
Dude's
22.
Barely old enough to buy beer. Yeah.
Exactly. Like 100%. I've never seen I've seen it, but it's just every time he throws the ball, dude, what a beautiful ball CJ Stroud throws. Like, you see it, and I'm like, okay, where's it going? Where's it going? And it's just, you just like still literally see it, and it just is, it's going to connect somewhere. That pass to Dalton Schultz in that Cleveland game, Chef's kiss, thing of beauty.
Absolutely.
He's getting compared to Tom Brady as a rookie. I mean, that's some elite company right there.
What was it? Tom Brady and Joe Montana in that?
I was just about to mention that. Yeah. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was like Stroud, Montana.
It was quarterbacks to lead in passing game average and highest touchdown to interception ratio.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah. God, just seeing him in that
and
graphic.
Both of those guys went to the Super Bowl that year that they did it. It's been done 3 times in the 50 years since the merger.
What are you saying, Rios? What are you saying, dude?
Not saying it, but I will say this team has the chance to make the type of run that the 2021 Bengals did. Young quarterback, young coach, opportunistic defense.
Yeah. So
the ingredients are there. It's just I'm not gonna jinx it. I'll wait till I'm gonna wait till 2 weeks from now.
You shut your mouth, Rios. You shut your mouth. I agree with you, Rios, on that one. I'm pretty certain if we can get this win over the Ravens, this is a Super Bowl team. This is definitely a Super Bowl team, because the Chiefs, let's say you go against the Chiefs look human. The Chiefs are very beatable. I haven't seen the Chiefs be this human in a long time.
Since Mahomes' rookie year, basically. That was the last time they were human.
Mahomes is playing in his first ever away playoff game this weekend. Like that that alone tells you everything you need to know. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Dude has never played a playoff game, not an Arrowhead. That is
Man.
That's incredible, isn't it?
it's nuts, dude. I heard that this week and I was like, what?
Like, not even Brady had that type of run at the beginning. He had at least a couple games on the road at the beginning of his career. That's insane to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So
because Mahomes is in year 7, his first time on the road.
Oh, it's 7.
It's crazy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I want to go back to the Cleveland really quick. Seeing Deshaun Watson's face on the sideline, just watching CJ ball out, bro. That brought some happy faces to us. Just a
joy to the soul, man. Joy to the soul.
Some of those facial
filled my spirit up as well.
Yeah, it was like, what could have been, bro? What could have been?
Hey, man, you chunked the deuce to H-Town, and we found somebody better. Good luck in Cleveland.
Yeah,
right.
Have fun with
the ones that forced away on him, Brandon Cooks. I want to go to a team that's gonna be special, and real special. Real special in Dallas.
Special place.
Part of a rebuild. I don't want to be here for a Does it look like a rebuild? Bro, jackass.
Like I want to be part of something special. So I went to Dallas. Like, a special place on that couch. We're gonna be watching this game
next year, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And they kept McCarthy again.
Give him a lifetime contract, please.
I love Dallas.
Give him a lifetime contract. Him and Dak. Give them both lifetime contracts.
What's so funny? You saw that stat. I think that stat that came out since the Texans' inception in 2002. The Texans have won one more playoff game than the Cowboys.
5-4.
5-4. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yep. And meanwhile, like a metric shit ton of Cowboys fans are still leaning back on championships won, like when most of us were shitting our diapers. So it's all right. We'll go get one soon, maybe this year.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they get this win over the Ravens. I don't see anybody stopping them in the AFC at least.
No.
It's done for. You beat the number. I think you're going into this game with a head, with a mess load of confidence because what you did to that Cleveland defense. Yes, you're facing a tough defense in Baltimore, but it almost seems like not as tough as what you faced the week prior.
Bro, Laramie Tunsil basically took Myles Garrett out of the game. Like, yes. Oh my God, big ton. Come on.
Myles Garrett's just doing cardio on Saturday.
Yeah,
that was it.
I was telling the guys
he couldn't even get close enough to smell CJ.
I was telling the guys, you know what, Tunsil, you earn yourself 2 extra false starts. Go for it. I don't care how many false starts you get now. Protect my quarterback.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Yeah. I did hold my breath a bit whenever we saw him go down. I'm sure everybody did.
But man, when he put his looked like he put his kneecap back into place. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Then he comes back out of the blue tent, keeps locking down Myles Garrett for another like 2 or 3 quarters, whatever it was.
Dude, we saw when he ran down the field at almost like 4 or 5 speed to get to do a block. I want to say when Nico got it, or it was like for a touchdown if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think of it too.
He like ran down the field like ferociously. I was like, dude, I'd be running away if I saw that man just full of speed coming at you.
Just a freak athletically. Just on the surface level, he looks like a big offensive lineman guy. But man, the way he moves, those sweet feet, woo! Yeah.
So at this point, would you guys say? Remember when we got Laramie from Miami, and we gave away all those picks? Could we say now, looking at how far we've come, could we say that those picks were worth it for Laramie Tunsil?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You got a top 3 left tackle in the league, and those are hard to find. Mm-hmm. The only other guy is Trent Williams, and he's 36. Like besides him and Tunsil, like it's a big drop off as far as talent levels when it comes to left tackles. Like they are hard to find. Yeah,
I'm not normally this guy, and I'm not really trying to overdo like patting my own back or anything. But when that trade went down, I remember I by no means saw the trade and thought, all right, the Texans got to steal. I didn't think that. But I remember a lot of people being kind of up in arms about it. And meanwhile, looking at what was going on in Houston at that time, I was like, man, just like you just said, Rios, like a top tier left tackle is so important, and it can be so hard to find. And even at the time, I was like, okay, was the value absolutely 100% correct? Maybe not, but even at the time, I was overall like okay with it. I was like, I need someone in there to protect Deshaun Watson.
Right.
But now we have him. He's a badass, and Deshaun Watson's pervy ass is in Cleveland, and we got CJ Stroud. It's all worked out for the best.
It really has. It really has. I love it. And so, like, that's the thing.
Right.
Now, like, you have somebody protecting CJ, and then he got extended this offseason as well. So he's gonna be here for a little bit. He's gonna be here for a bit protecting CJ. Get your false starts. I don't care. Yeah, I was like, get your false starts. Just protect CJ. That's all.
Keep up.
I'll gladly
up,
make.
We're good.
Yeah, I'll gladly take that little trade. I'll take it. False
Absolutely,
starts,
dude.
Yeah, it's like I always tell the guys, like, false start on Tunsil. I was like, all right, yeah, but he protects my quarterback, so I can't really get too mad at him. So give or take. But yeah, no, he made Myles Garrett, who's been phenomenal, just non-existent, not even a factor. I went on some of the Cleveland tweets, and man, everybody was just talking so much shit about Myles Garrett. You know, I was like, where was Myles Garrett at? Where was Myles?
Well,
I never saw Myles. I saw Lamar Tunsil.
It's funny. So PFF also has Myles Garrett rated higher than TJ Watt. I'm like, really? I'm like, come on, guys. The guy led the league in sacks and missing a few games. I'm like, come on.
Nerds.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And dude, and even when we went against the Steelers, man, like TJ Watt was a non-factor.
Also a non-factor.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Tunsil that game. Tunsil didn't play that game.
And that's when we were like rotating like crazy on that O-line. We didn't know who we were going to get. And that's
like a revolving door.
Revolving door of linemen. Any other team, like when you look back at this team, it's like all the adversity that they had to face. Yes, Cleveland can go and talk about their adversities, but we've also had them as well. Like a revolving door of linemen that came out.
Look at the center position. Yeah. Look at the center position. We're in our fourth center.
Yeah.
What week was it that Titus went down? Do y'all remember?
Ooh, it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was middle of the season because he's been gone a good minute.
Yeah. I was about to say. So I mean, all this whole back half of the year, it's. I mean, you haven't had Titus Howard. I'm not saying he's Laramie Tunsil, but he is your second highest paid fella. So
yeah.
And he's been playing out of position. He's been playing left guard. He's the right tackle, and he's been playing left guard because there was no one on the roster that could, fill that spot. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and he did a serviceable job. Then he got hurt, and it's just been whoever can fill it. Because I think Juice Scruggs has had to play a little bit of left guard, and he's supposed to be our center.
Well, Juice Scruggs has actually been pretty good at guard. Like y'all seen that? Juice Scruggs has been pretty good at center. At guard. Yeah, and he's supposed to be our center.
Yeah. Juice has been killing it, and he is the only offensive lineman that started the year on the offensive line for the Houston Texans that has stayed healthy the entire season. It's the only guy that's been the constant on that offensive line.
Wait, Juice? I thought Juice started off injured.
I'm sorry, Shaq.
Shaq Mason. Yeah, sorry. No, you're good. I was like, sorry, I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just like, wait, that was for my own. That's for my own reasoning. I was like, wait, yeah.
But Juice has been good in different positions, even though he, like you said, he should be our center.
Exactly. But dude, we think we still have Patterson, right? Who Patterson was pretty freaking decent, but I know he's injured. But I think does he come back next season? That's what I can't remember if it's on short term or is he on a rookie?
Well, he's a rookie, so he'll be back next year.
So
the only ones we're probably going to lose is going to be probably Font because he's been really good at the right tackle spot, and he's going to want to be he's going to be a starter on most teams, and I don't think he's going to stay to be just a swing lineman here. So we'll probably lose him in free agency. But I mean,
Charlie Heck's been good too.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of improvement from him because I remember like seeing that I was like, oh god, Charlie's out there, but then.
Yeah, there'll be times when he's facing CJ like, bro, you're not supposed to be looking at the quarterback.
What are you doing?
Turn around, man.
But no, like this for the most part, like I felt like a lot of people criticize this offensive line, especially because of the revolving door that we've had. But if you really look at it, they've kept CJ like
since week 3. They've really cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Because those first 2 games, he got sacked a lot, but after that, like he's been pretty upright most of the season. I think besides the Jets game, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure on CJ most of the time. It was just him holding onto the ball too long with some of those sacks, but it wasn't like immediate pressure like it was in those first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so going back to Baltimore here for this weekend. what are some keys to victories against Baltimore? Rios, we'll start off with you.
So on the defense side of the ball, I think they got to disguise their coverage a little bit. They haven't done it all season until last week. They disguised a lot of their coverages. They did it about 50% of the time, and it confused Flacco. That's what caused some of those turnovers and bad throws. I think you got to do the same thing against Baltimore because outside of Zay Flowers, they don't really have like a guy that's create a ton of separation. Like it's going to be, real. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to eat up a lot of yards in the middle of the field. I can live with that as long as you contain Zay Flowers because that's the one guy you don't want to get in open space. So I think they're going to do a lot of disguised coverages, and they're going to have to blitz a little bit more than they're used to because we normally blitz about 15% of the time, but we're going to have to do a little bit more just to keep Lamar, from escaping the pocket a little bit. And if they can slow the run game down, because they run the ball a lot because they don't have a ton of weapons on offense, especially with the Andrews out. So if they can slow down the run, force Lamar to be a passer, you can force him to do mistakes.
Isn't Andrews coming back?
He was activated.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he's going to play because he hasn't practiced that much this week.
True.
Right.
And if he does, he hasn't played since week 3 or 4. Like he's been out most of the season. So no telling how effective he'll be. And I don't think it's fair to ask him to, hey, do your regular workload after missing the entire season, basically. So if he's out there, it'll be like on a very limited snap count.
Okay.
On offense, they have to get the run established. Because getting the run game going, it's going to open up everything. Because their linebackers are elite. That whole front seven really is elite. Their one weakness is the secondary. But if you can get the run game going, catch them a little off balance, you can get those big deep shot plays that we've been getting the last few weeks against the Colts and the Browns that we did last week. So it should be it's going to be a close game because both defenses have been balling out. Their defense is very opportunistic, just like ours. Keeping the turnovers to a minimum.
Yeah.
Because basically like their last few blood wins, they won the turnover battle 4-0 basically.
Yeah.
So we can keep those, and CJ doesn't turn the ball over, so that's one thing that works in our favor.
He's
very good. He's very good at maintaining control of the ball. So as long as we don't make any mistakes, it's gonna be a close one. But I got us pulling it out. Last second touchdown.
What's your score?
I'm calling it 20-13. CJ scores the last touchdown with his legs.
All right. I like that. All right, Tyler, what you got, bud?
So keys to this one for the Texans, man. Defensively for DeMeco's defense, similar to kind of what you were saying, Rios, but my biggest worry as far as the Raven offense, outside of Lamar Jackson, of course, we talked about containing Lamar, but outside of that, my biggest worry is tight end, and I'm not talking about Mark Andrews, though. It's Isaiah Likely. Likely has been coming on a bit, and the Houston Texans, for all the great things Meco's defense has done this year, they have very frequently struggled against big-bodied tight ends that their opponents might run out there on the field. So I'm going to be hoping to see not a lot of Likely streaking down the field for the defense. Turnovers, of course, like you said, Rios, also going to be important. You're coming off a game where you got 2 pick sixes. I'd be good if you got me another one. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome if defense scored some more points. But that'll be the key for the defense for me. On offense, just to piggyback off what you were saying, Rios, I think in the first quarter you got to get Motor Singletary. You got to get him going quickly. And once you do that, the beautiful part of it is not only opening up the pass for CJ Stroud, Slowik in the offense, but I'm a sucker, man. I love those long, drawn-out bootleg plays that we see, like on the touchdown to Schultz that you were talking about earlier. Those, I don't know. I've even back in the shop days and Kubiak.
Andre.
Yes, bro.
Yeah,
like I see that play action, big bootleg. I'm standing up. I'm like, let's go. Who's deep?
Yeah.
Who's deep? So get the run going, get Singletary going. Don't try to get cute and start trying to get more carries to Dameon Pierce. Love Dameon Pierce, hoping he can come back next season and show some improvement off this horrendous year. But don't get cute and try that. Like, let him return the kicks, get Motor Singletary going, open up that pass play with some bootlegs. I think that'll be the biggest key for me.
What do you think your score prediction will be?
I had it written down here. A lot more points than what Rios predicted. But My prediction for this one is going to be Texans win it and win it convincingly, 34-20.
Wow, nice. A little bit of an ass whooping. There you go.
Let's run it back. Ass whooping times 2.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it. I will take it.
So I'm going to start off on the defensive side. I do agree 100% that tight ends is my biggest area of concern outside of outside of containing Lamar Jackson. I'm not too worried about the run. I mean, the Texans were number one in the against the run or whatnot, and they
got a ton of injuries to the running backs.
Exactly. So I'm not too concerned about the run. I can see for sure, that tight end position is what kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety. I mean, they gave up 156 yards to Cleveland's tight ends last week in the middle of the field. So I'm definitely sure Likely's going to get some pretty good catches off of Lamar Jackson. I think Stingley is going to contain Zay Flowers, if anything, and even Steve. Stingley has been just phenomenal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stingley has been absolutely phenomenal because, like you said, Rios, earlier, you can contain Zay Flowers. You make that team, I don't want to say one-dimensional because, I mean, Lamar Jackson can extend those plays.
You condense the field, though. You
condense the field. You do condense
like
the field.
Like they did with Cleveland. Yeah, let them get those yards in the middle of the field. Those deep shots like we had the first time with Amari Cooper.
So the defense, the difference between Lamar and Joe Flacco is that Joe Flacco looked like it took forever for him to throw a deep ball as he was running outside of the pocket. Like he was like jogging it out there. I was like, dude, he looked like Tom Brady when he was doing the little Philly special. Yeah.
Running in slow motion.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I was just thinking to myself, the thing about the difference between him and Lamar is just the fact that Lamar is just athletic. He can really get it done. And you can't let that happen to Lamar Jackson. He's going to make you pay for it. He's either going to use his legs or find somebody to throw it to. He's actually been pretty decent at that. So tight end position for sure. Not too worried about the run. But again, it's just I trust the Texans secondary to get the job done. But that tight end position is just and they're very tight end heavy. Baltimore is. So just that part for me. For the offensive side of the ball, I trust CJ. I trust CJ immensely. Yes. I mean, you could say that Noah Brown, losing Noah Brown to the IR can be a little detrimental, but at the end of the day, against Cleveland, he wasn't really much there to begin with. So CJ is definitely going to have to rely on I could see some Belvin Jordan again. I can see some Dalton Schultz. We saw a Mechie sighting 44 yards last week. 44
yards. Catch where he had it like this, basically against his helmet. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I held my breath a little bit. I was like, "Oh, catch it!"
I was like, "Please catch it."
Catch it. Yeah, John Mechie. We started seeing some sightings. I don't know. I'm like, are you getting comfortable with the offensive scheme? What's happening? I would love to see John Mechie get more involved in this game. Tyler, you said get Singletary involved. I agree 100%. You have to establish the run. You have to establish the run. I love Dameon Pierce, like you said, to piggyback off of you, but I don't want to see him being forced
Special teams player of the week. Special team players of the week.
Exactly. I don't want to see Dameon Pierce. Give it to Devin Singletary. Let him get across. He's a little bit more fluid. Get around the edge a little bit. And that's what I want to see. Patrick Queen, these guys that are coming up for the Ravens, they have an elite linebacker core. So yes, it's going to be tough, but I'll tell you what, if you can establish that run, it'll be a lot easier for CJ to make those passes to Dalton Schultz, to Belvin Jordan, to Nico Collins. I know for sure you're gonna see Nico Collins out there. CJ, that's what I love about CJ Stroud. He's young enough, obviously, so he can sling the ball and actually try and go for it. Be a little gunslinger. Whereas these guys get older, they kind of like, hold on a little bit and just like, nah, whatever. But he's at that age where he's trying it. And I love that because you try it, even if you make a mistake, at least okay, I can't do that here and there. You're still trying. And what's paid off is that CJ doesn't turn the ball over, but as much. He's got 5 interceptions. But Lamar Jackson had 7 this year? If I'm not mistaken,
that's right. Yeah.
So he also doesn't turn the ball over as much, but
He fumbles a lot. He has a lot of
fumbles. He does fumble. That's the thing. So containing Lamar Jackson, getting to him, and I think the Texans will do a good job with that, with Jonathan Grenard and Will Anderson as well. They become such an elite tandem. I think the Texans' offensive line will protect CJ Stroud. I mean, it's weird to say, Jadeveon Clowney has 9.5 sacks this year.
Yeah, that is weird.
Isn't that weird? Like, Jadeveon Clowney has 9.5 sacks this year, and so
he showed up on the injury report today.
Say it again.
He showed up on the Ravens injury report today.
Oh, did he? Oh,
not
too surprising. Yeah, but not too surprising because he used to show up on our injury report all the time too. So
yeah. And 9.5 was his best season with us, and
and so I mean, it's almost like, and that's what I said at the beginning of this show. It's almost kind of evened out in a way, in that aspect. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this game. The only reason why I won't give a score prediction is because I found out throughout the season that I'm a jinx. And every time I pick Texans to win, certain things happen. If I choose them to lose, certain things happen. But lately, it's been a mixture.
Decision.
Yeah, so I'd rather sacrifice that. Yeah, I'd rather sacrifice that and keep it in my head. I will say I do expect a shootout, though. I do expect a shootout. That's all I got to say. I'll expect a shootout from both teams, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great game, no matter what the end result is. Yes, CJ has a lot to go. This has blown everybody's expectations for the Texans. It's just been an incredible season overall.
Glorious.
Yeah, exactly.
More than any of us could have hoped for when the season started. So,
yeah.
Although exactly. I did call 10-7 in the division. Just you guys are welcome.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So Tyler, I want to thank you for again joining us on the show, man. I appreciate it. I love the fact that you come here and just hang out with us for a bit and talk some football, man. That's what it should be about. Do some little bar talk with us or whatnot. So I appreciate that, bro.
Hell yeah, man. It's beautiful. I appreciate y'all, dude. I know I was on here with you not too long ago. I was very happy to come back on again tonight, man. Y'all are doing some good shit, and it's really fun to come chop it up with you.
Appreciate you. All right, guys. Follow Tyler on his Twitter account at @TMill Real Deal, and of course, please follow Sports Radio 610. Those guys are. This is advertising. Those guys are the shit. I love them. Right? They're awesome. I listen to them every single morning. Follow Sports Radio 610. Listen to them.
Best way to start the day. Best way to start the day.
Best way to start the day. I love hearing Seth Payne scream in the morning. It's amazing. It wakes me up. And this is how you do it. Yeah. But yeah, again, nonetheless, I appreciate you, Tyler, again. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all, man.
That's going to be it. Go Texans. And if a lot of the podcasters or H10 podcasts are going to probably hit up Cobos this weekend. So check that out. And we should be having, this is a little special guest as far as from our baseball fans are concerned. Looks like we may have an interview with the great Cesar Salazar from the Astros coming up. So,
nice.
I know, right? Yeah. So let's check that out. So again, Tyler, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming out. Don't leave just yet. And that's going to be our outro. Peace, y'all.
And I don't know what you thought, but right here, dog, we gon' rep the squad. Got HU, I might fit it, then on my jersey, you gon' know where I'm from. This Houston, Texas.